So this is my current setup right now. I moved into the basement of my house, and I've got actually, for the moment, I've got 3 PVMs turning. So I have two 2950s QM, that's Sony 2950s, which are really nice because they're 29-inch wide, which is a really nice image dimension. I have got also 2730, which you can see over there. So this is the 2950, this is the 2730. Hooked up with RGB, of course, sync SCART, SCART to BNC, I mean, and simple SCART for the 2730. I then have another setup, which is right here with the second PVM, that's the 2950, hooked up to my PAL version Neo GeO. So I can actually switch from one gate to another as I like. I also got myself this arcade, which is pretty sweet. It's Royal Video. It's like a Dutch brand from the mid-80s, I guess. And I've got a nice shoot 'em up turning on it. It's In the Hunt from IRM. IRM, which is of course the ancestor of Nazca, for those who know about the Metal Slug series. Some members of the former crew of IRM moved to create Nazca, which means the Metal Slug series. So that was quite a nice step forward for the company. So let's get down to it. So if we go there, we'll see. So some kind of casual pieces right here. Well, this is not the most casual. I've got a nice Japanese Sengoku 2. A very good beat them all game. Like a mid-18th century or samurai, you just slash opponents. You have like spirits, demons, whatever sort of enemies and so on. Really nice, very nice graphically it's really quite stunning for the time. This is 1993, so it's very impressive. Right here we have, of course, Viewpoint. This is a 3/4 isometric shooter, so this is really nice. You can actually see here it's a sort of plunging 3/4, you know, type of frame, so it's pretty odd. But for 1992, it's very impressive to see the kind of yeah, I mean the kind of pixels you can actually get out from that machine. It was pretty nice. I don't know. Fighters History Dynamite. Yeah, definitely not one of the best beat them ups, but you know, it's still a variant from World Heroes 2, kind of, you know, a blend of World Heroes 2, Fatal Fury, I guess. So it's still interesting to see that it exists. Here we have Sonic Wings 2, great shooter. Can't get enough of it, you know, you can, there's very good replay value of this game. You can keep on playing it in different difficulty levels. Great special attacks. About 6 or 8 characters to choose from. So, and of course the insert is pretty awesome. It's probably one of the most beautiful inserts, I think. So this is really nice. Fatal Fury 2. Still with the original price tag. This is in Swiss francs, so that was probably the equivalent of like 110 bucks or something, or 110 euros if you're counting in euros. Awesome, awesome Fatal Fury. This is really where Neo Geo all started, so it's epic. Here we have Fatal Fury Special, of course, which is the sequel from 1993. Also, very decent sprites of animation. You can actually see here we've got some great frames. You can also move from foreground to background, so it's pretty complete. Thrash Rally, that's just a rally with a view from on top. Kind of basic, but always a fun game to play every once in a while. Graphics are pretty basic, but you know, I guess this was one of the first games released in 1991 by Alpha Denshi. Same editor as World Heroes 1, by the way. Then I have Dunk Dream. Dunk Dream, which is the Japanese name for Street Hoop. This is a sort of NBA Jam-like basketball game. Very arcade, very like you jump 10 meters in the air, you slam dunk, you have special furies. It's a 3-on-3, so it's more like a street basketball game. It's, yeah, very decent. Very decent. Next one to come is Burning Fight. Burning Fight, awesome beat them all. Kind of, you know, in the tendency of Final Fight, but version Neo Geo. This is 1991. So one of the first releases. You can tell it's, yeah, it's quite decent. I mean, it's, you always get some fun time playing it along with the games like Mutation Nation, which share the same scenario. World Heroes 2, definitely one of the best beat them up games, I would say, in terms of value if you're looking for a budget title for Neo GeO AES. You know, quite a lot of characters. They each have their special techniques, their special attacks. The graphics are fine, really fine. Lots of variation, lots of colors, very impactful, and very accessible. It's more or less like something like $80–90, so it's good. Here I have Last Resort. Last Resort is a beautiful horizontal scrolling shooter that was produced by SNK, and it's absolutely stunning in terms of graphic. It's from 1992, so I mean, just seeing this from 1992 is just amazing. If you take a look at the, yeah, the rendering, the detail, I mean, just look at this background with the city. It's like completely taken from Akira, you know, the Japanese manga, and well, it really has its own feel to it. So, I mean, I can definitely recommend. So, a more particular piece, Art of Fighting 3. Art of Fighting 3, The Path of the Warrior is a very good beat-them-up game. Very different from 1 and 2 in the way that this one is very, how do you say? The animations are awesome, as you can see here. I mean, every movement is pretty decomposed. You know, it gives you very, like, a realistic feel to this beat-them-up. Quite a few characters, but I mean, lots of fun playing. It's very different than the usual beat-them-up game in the way that you're more looking at like placing the right hit at the right time and less doing combos. So it's more like a strategic beat-them-up game, I would say, but very beautiful. Yeah, for its 298 meg count, pretty nice. Here we have Samurai Spirits. Samurai Showdown 2. Sorry, that's Samurai Showdown 2, yeah, it's not the one, number 2. Awesome samurai game. I mean, this one is inevitable, of course. If you start playing on the Neo Geo, it's just a superb katana samurai game. Just look at this. I mean, just graphically speaking, you're just stunned. I mean, this one is from 1993, I believe, but it's just an awesome game. Very good value. Here we have Art of Fighting 2. Art of Fighting 2, released in 1992, if I believe, or 1993. Very good game, also very technical, very strategic, very difficult. I guess also known for its difficulty level. It's yeah, it's a tough game. It's really a tough game, but it's a beautiful game, well animated. I know some people tend to prefer it to other beat 'em up games in the way that it's more technical and well, it has a unique feel to it, I'd say. This is Robo Army. Robo Army, awesome beat them all game. It's like the tech crushing beat them up game. Beat them all, I'd say. So you're like a robot and you just kick the shit out of mechanics and robots. Very nice sound animation for like breaking those carcasses and those bodies, you know. Like it's a very good game. Not so obvious to find that one in Japanese, but and the artwork, as you can see, is just pretty stunning for the insert. It's really a very good title. This is World Heroes 1 by Alpha Denshi, 1991. 1992, sorry. 1992, so the very first game before World Heroes 2, obviously. A little bit more limited, but still a decent game. I mean, it's quite a nice game. Okay, so I'll be going a little bit quicker through these ones, because, okay, this one is actually a convert, Ganryu, which is a sort of a platform action game. It's kind of, I wouldn't say run and gun, but it's a beautiful game. Edited and launched by Visco in 1999. It wasn't officially released on the AES, but this is a really nice MVS conversion, including the instruction manual, so it's pretty nice. King of Fighters 1994. So these are the King of Fighters. Forced teams, 3-on-3. So you have like the English team, USA team, China team, Japan team, etc., etc. Well, it's the very first one that launched the history of the King of Fighters sequel, so it's obviously a mythic game to have. And as you can see, I have the lines. I have also King of Fighters 1995, Japanese version, obviously. I'm trying to get the US versions actually, but it's not going to be for immediately. 1996, awesome one, graphically speaking, just a killer, as you can see. The meg count keeps on growing, by the way. 1994 is 193 megs, 1995 250 megs, 1996 362 megs, yep. 1997 right here, which is one of my personal favorites. I'd say very impactful. The insert is absolutely amazing. I think it's definitely on my top 3 favorite inserts. And it's just, it's a very good game. It's, you know, I don't know, it's just, it's fast, it's varied, it's impactful. Yeah. King of Fighters. So this is probably the most popular one, King of Fighters 1998. Very nice. This one is pretty heavyweight in terms of size, because it's going to 683 megs, so it's pretty nice. It became the standard for the KOF series, for those of you who might not know. Then there was King of Fighters 1999, awesome. Quite different. The first one to actually use the strikers, which are like a 4th character that can interfere during a match by pressing BC and can either protect you or damage your opponent, depending on what you're looking for. King of Fighters 2000. This is the unique insert, which you'll find horizontally, so it's really, really nice. Just for the front, actually. But it's one of my personal favorites, I must say. It's just, yeah. It's a beautiful, beautiful beat-them-up game. Fast, varied, accessible. King of Fighters 2001. So this one was produced by Aruz right after, unfortunately, the bankruptcy of SNK in 2001. And this one came out the year after, 2001. So you can see it definitely has a new feel to it. It's more like a manga character-based animations, this sort of thing. But it's definitely a good game still. King of Fighters 2002. My personal favorite. It's just the best, graphically speaking. The soundtracks are awesome. The insert is awesome. The playability is great. And Metal Slug series. Here I have a Metal Slug 4 with a pretty bad sun fade, but I got it for a very good deal, so I was still thinking it's still a Metal Slug. Nice. So that's the king of run and gun games, as you might have understood. Metal Slug 5. Japanese and still, of course. Very nice one. They inserted the slide move, actually, which helps you dodge some bullets every once in a while. Here we have Matre Melee, which is a beautiful beat-them-up game that got out in 2003 by Noise Factory. It's a beautiful game. It's just, and especially with the vocalizes, with the actually sung songs from Japanese artists during the match. And that is very nice, but only if you'll play the game Japanese version on a Japanese console. Here we have The Last Blade, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, Last Blade, Samurai Showdown kind of game. It's in the spirit of samurai fighting, so it's pretty awesome. 1996, I believe. Far East of Eden. Kabuki Clash. Very original beat-them-up game with special characters. Yeah, it has a funny feel to it, but very, very nice game. If you're looking more for a little bit of originality, you might be looking for this one, or Waku Waku 7, for example, or Voltage Gaokeizer, probably, which is quite rare as well. Here we have Real Bout 2, Fatal Fury. Got out in 1998, a very, very nice game, very, well, not sought after, but you don't find it every day, but it's a very good game. It's like with the in-depth, you can go, background, foreground. It's got like lots of different characters. As you can see, you've got the main ones, so Kim, Billy, yeah, you've got Jane, Joe, Andy, Terry, Mai, whatever. Neo GeO Cup 98. I believe this one was the equivalent of Super Sidekicks 3, except it's the special version that came out during the World Cup 1998. Very good soccer game. Quite realistic. Well done. Here we have Real Bout Special Fatal Fury, the predecessor of Real Bout 2. Very nice beat-them-up game as well. SVC Chaos. Street Fighter characters versus SNK. Really sweet. 2003. Samurai Spirit Zero. This one is quite sweet. Also, it's part of the Samurai Showdown series. It's a nice game. Here I have Samurai Spirits 4, which is Asakusa's Revenge. Another samurai game, really nice. I haven't played a lot actually, this one, but it's yeah, it's a nice one. It's not one of the, well, it's considered to be one of the best samurais actually with the 2. I couldn't tell myself having not played them that much actually. Samurai Showdown 3. Here we have World Heroes Perfect in pretty close to perfect condition as well. So this is the latest World Heroes that came out after World Heroes 2 Jet. Very nice if you're into World Heroes series. Mark of the Wolves, which is Fatal Fury 4, probably the reference for beat-them-up games on all the Neo Geo. It's just fabulous. If you ever get a chance to get your hands on it, I definitely recommend. It's a must-have. Yeah, it's a must-have. And here I actually have 2 copies of Last Blade 2. I'm looking to sell one actually. One has a reg card, the other one doesn't. So if ever you guys are looking for a copy of Last Blade 2, I've got this extra copy for sale. Now we still have Fatal Fury 3. Alpha Mission 2. which is really sweet because it's in, as you can see, great condition, and it has not been opened. And this is pretty nice to see that. So it's, I mean, obviously I won't be opening it. I should almost be putting it in a special acrylic case, I guess. Super Baseball 2020. Very nice futuristic baseball game. Completely different from Baseball Stars and Baseball Stars 2, but it's still existing. This is 8-Man, which has sustained some sort of severe damage, but I guess I just recuperated from not a collector, but a random guy who had it in his storage. So yeah, I just said, why not? You know, like, nice game. It's a nice run and gun, like with forced scrolling. Ninja Combat carton version. Very sweet because it's one of the first beat 'em all games that came out for the Neo Geo. There is also the soft case version and the carton version. I happen to have the carton version. King of Monsters 1, which sustained heavy damage as you got it. I got it at the flea market for a very decent price, so I just took it. Nice. Then here we have Blues Journey. Action platform game. NAM 1979, the very first game to come out on the Neo Geo. Riding Hero. This is a motorcycle game. Race game. Ghost Pilots. Shoot 'em up. Vertical scrolling. Nice. 1991. Quite basic. Super Spy. Super Spy, one of the very first games also, which is probably one of the only ones to be played as a first-person game. Magician Lord, which is of course legendary due to its difficulty. As you may have heard, it's just insanely hard, this game, but it's beautiful. I don't know. Here I have Lake Bowling. Miracle Adventure, also known as Spin Master. Miracle Adventure is the Japanese name for the game. It's probably one of my favorite run and gun games on platform action games. Flying Power Disc or Windjammers, a must-have, absolutely. Especially two-player. I mean, it really does the job and animates your evenings with a nice friend and a couple of beers. You're off. Right here we have Super Sidekicks with, unfortunately, some fade, but still quite nice. The first of the series, quite difficult to get. Well, not that much, but it's more difficult than the 2. Speaking of which, Super Sidekicks 2, a sequel. Here I have Gun, which is also known as the Aggressors of Dark Combat. Really nice. Original. A conversion right here. So this is Strikers 1945 Plus, edited by Arcade in 2000. Very, very nice release. I bought it complete as new with instruction manual, if I believe correctly. It's, yeah, with a very decent manual actually. It's actually got nice gold label. So this is pretty sweet. Then we have Art of Fighting 2. I mean, Art of Fighting, the first one, sorry. Art of Fighting. King of the Monsters 2. Yeah, that's number 2, yeah. So this is, you just choose among different monsters and just kick the shit out of your opponents. Viewpoint. This is the PAL, the Euro version of Viewpoint, which I showed you. 3/4 isometric point of view. Very nice, shoot them up. Mutation Nation, one of my favorite beat them all games. It's just like, just look at those graphics. I mean, aren't they nice? Yeah. you can spend some nice time, decent time with this. World Heroes 2 Euro version. 3 Countabout, same Euro version. I've also got World Heroes 2 Jet. Fatal Fury Special in Euro. Fatal Fury 2. Ninja Commando. Spin Master. Miracle Adventure in Euro. Top Hunter. Top Hunter in Euro, very nice. This is a very nice run and gun. Samurai Showdown, obviously. World Heroes 2 Jet. And the Japanese version of Top Hunter. Nice. Then we go on to the NG Dev team games, which I bought recently. Well, 2 years ago. I've got Razion, which is pretty awesome. Amazing horizontal shooter. Fast Striker, amazing vertical shooter. This is, of course, Gunlord, which is quite amazing. It's a sort of run and gun, like Super Tarkan-like. Yeah, very nice. And these are some of my most prized and beautiful titles, I'd say. So I have an original Polestar, which you have right here. These were actually kept in Kaiser cases, for those of you who know them. They're very nice acrylic cases, because these games were pretty rare and expensive. So perfectly genuine. So these are really nice to keep the games. I also have Blazing Star. This is one of my most recent purchases. I'm so happy to have it. It's just really rare to have a copy in original, especially because it was probably one of the titles which was the most reproduced, I guess. And it's just like an absolute mastery of 3D rendering skills for Neo Geo, especially for 2D platform console, like it's just amazing. This is a very special piece, obviously, because it's one of the rarest games you'll find out there. Chibi Maruko-chan, this is a puzzle quiz game. Yeah, which unfortunately has a side spine fade, but it's still in very good condition. I'm really happy to have it. It's very, I wouldn't say sought after, but it's a must-have when you're trying to aim for the full set, such as I am. And it's, well, you have to speak Japanese in order to play, because you're playing questions, response. You're supposed to learn to speak Japanese and to read kanji in order to answer the questions. So, good luck. Here we have Super Tag Battle, Kizuna Encounter. A very nice tag team beat 'em up game. Launched in 1996, beautiful, quite rare as well. I also have Sonic Wings 3, great shooter. Not so obvious to find in genuine. Yeah, beautiful vertical scrolling shooter. It's you get them out of those cases every once in a while, but more often than every often. Here we have Stakes Winner 2. This is actually a jockey racing game. Very Japanese oriented, obviously only on the Japanese market, except for Stakes Winner 1, which was released in US as well. Very particular, you're just, it's just like a horse racetrack game, and yeah, a rare piece as well. Here we have Shock Troopers Second Squad, which is a really nice piece. Beautiful piece in perfect condition. Yeah, this one is really nice. Really happy to have it. It's sort of Metal Slug-like, but seen from above, and it's definitely a heavy hitter. And this one is Magical Drop 3, one of the greatest Tetris-like puzzle bubble mixed games. Very nice. You really need to develop those reflexes, because people playing well, they'll just bust you up in no time if you don't know how to play. And here we have my 2 or 3 most exceptional pieces. Well, especially this is the epic piece I acquired last year. And you're looking at an original copy of Metal Slug 1 for the Neo GeO AES. Yes, here it is. This is not a conversion. This is not a repro. It's the real deal. Got out in 1996. In very decent condition, except for the spine, which has a little sun fade, unfortunately, but you know, it's complete, and it's a genuine Metal Slug 1 in Japanese for the AES. Right here we have Metal Slug 2, Japanese, bought from an Italian collector, seller. Sweet guy, very nice game, one of my favorites, definitely with the X, which I don't own yet. I can only recommend, that's for sure. And Metal Slug 3, which is the less rare of the 3, I would say. But it's definitely, in my opinion, the best game. All thematics, you know, taken in consideration. The best release for the Neo GeO AES, I guess. It's just like an amazing run and gun. 708 megs, graphics that will blow you away, literally. Very nice lifespan. It's huge. It's huge. I mean, except for the last level, which is so long, it's considered like as if it were 3 levels in one, but it's crazy. Yeah. So this is it. Then I just got my Transformer original instruction manual for the arcade. Little Razion original soundtrack, always nice. And I got my setups and ready to play some. So I can actually choose this afternoon between Prehistoric Isle 2, which is MVS. It's probably my favorite shooter as of today. Or why not play another shooter, which is Last Resort, one of my personal favorites. On a nice PVM, of course, you will have guessed, the Sony 2950 QM or the Sony 2950 QM. Okay. So, thanks for watching. It was a pleasure showing you my updated collection, and I'll be getting some additional titles as soon as I can. I will also, you know, try to fit in some space for new shelves. I'm also looking forward to be able to not pin but put against the wall this original promotional poster for Super Tag Battle, which is pretty amazing. Released in 1996, obviously. This is an original SNK product. It was printed by SNK, actually, also in 1996. So, voila. Thanks for watching. See you very soon, and I'll keep you posted. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you liked it. I don't post videos very often, but I'm sure I'll see you around. Okay, bye. Thanks.